Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's go to sixth canto. Okay, who would like to read? So let me know if you see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu, it's visible.
Okay, I do not remember who read the first part. Was it Parth Prabhu or Pramod Prabhu? I mean, Prandan Prabhu?
I read Hamsukuya prayers, Prabhu. This first part, yes.
Okay, so this is different then. So Parth Prabhu, I
I
thought.
read it, yeah, Prabhuji.
So maybe can you continue reading from 23 to end of the chapter?
23, right? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 5, verse 23. The Haryasvas, the son of Prajapati Daksha, were very well behaved, cultured son, but unfortunately, because of the instruction of Narad Muni, they deviated from the order of their father. When Daksha heard this news, which was brought to him by Narad Muni, he began to lament. Although he was the father of such good sons, he had to lose them. Certainly, this was lamentable. When Prajapati Daksha was lamenting for his lost children, Lord Brahma pacified him with instructions, and thereafter Daksha begot 1,000 more children in the womb of his wife, Panchajani. This time, this time his sons were known as Shavalasvas. In accordance with their father's order to beget children, the second group of sons also went to Narayanasaras, the same place where their brothers had previously attained perfection by following instruction of Narada. Undertaking great vows of austerity, the Savalasvas remained at that holy place. At Narayanasaras, the second group of sons performed penances in the same way as the first. They bathed in the holy water, and by its touch, all the dirty material desires in their heart were cleansed away. They murmured mantras beginning with Omkara and underwent a severe course of austerities. For a few months, the sons of Prajapati Daksha drank only water and ate only air. Thus, undergoing great austerities, they recited this mantra. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always situated in his transcendental abode. Since he is the Supreme Person, Paramahamsa, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto him. O King Parikshit, Narad Muni approached these sons of Prajapati Daksha who were engaged in tapasya to beget children and spoke enigmatic words to them just as he had spoken to their elder brothers. O son of Daksha, please hear my words of instruction attentively. You are all very affectionate to your elder brothers, the Haryasvas. Therefore, you should follow their path. A brother aware of principle of religions follows in the footsteps of his elder brother. Because of beings highly elevated, such a pious brother get the opportunity to associate and enjoy with demigods like the Maruts, who were all affectionate to their brothers. Sukdeva Goswami continues, O best of the advanced Aryans, after saying this much of the sons of Prajapati Daksha, Narad Muni, whose merciful glance never goes in vain, left as he had planned. The sons of Daksha followed their elder brothers. Not attempting to produce children, they engaged themselves in Krishna consciousness. The Savalavas took to the correct path, which is obtainable by the mode of life meant to achieve devotional service or the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like knights that have gone to the west, they have not returned even until now. At this time, Prajapati Daksha observed many inauspicious signs, and he heard from various sources that his second group of sons, the Savalavas, had followed the path of their elder brothers in accordance with the instruction of Narada. When he heard that Savalavas had also left this world to engage in devotional service, Daksha was angry at Narada and he almost fainted due to lamentation. When Daksha met Narada, Daksha's lips began trembling in anger and he spoke as follows. Prajapati Daksha said, Alas, Narad Muni, you wear the dress of a saintly person, but you are not actually a saint. Indeed, although I am now in Grihastha life, I am a saintly person. By showing my sons the path of renunciation, you have done me an abominable injustice. Prajapati Daksha said, My sons were not all freed from their three debts. Indeed, they did not properly consider their obligation. O Narad Muni, O personality of sinful action, you have obstructed their progress towards good fortune in this world and the next because they are still indebted to the saintly person, the demigods and their father. Prajapati Daksha continues, thus committing violence against other living entities and yet claiming to be an associate of Lord Vishnu, you are defaming the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You needlessly created a mentality of renunciation in innocent boys, and therefore you are shameless and devoid of compassion. How could you travel with the personal associate of the Supreme Lord? All the devotees of the Lord, but you are very kind of conditioned souls and are eager to benefit others. Although you wear the dress of a devotee, you create enmity with people who are not your enemies, or you break friendship and create enmity between friends. Are you not ashamed of posing as a devotee while performing these abominable actions? Prajapati Daksha continued, if you think that simply awakening the senses of renunciation will detach one from material world, I must say that unless full knowledge is awakened, simply changing the dress as you have done cannot possibly bring detachment. Material enjoyment is indeed the cause of all unhappiness, but one cannot give it up unless one has personally experienced how much suffering it is. Therefore, one should be allowed to remain in the so-called material enjoyment while simultaneously advancing in knowledge to experience the misery of the false material happiness. Then, without help from others, one will find material enjoyment distasteful. Those whose minds are changed, others do not become renounced as those who have personal experience. Although although I live in household life with my wife and children, I honestly follow Vedic injunction by engaging in fruitive activities to enjoy life without sinful reaction. I have performed all kinds of yagas, including the Deva Yagya, Rishi Yagya, Pitru Yagya, and Nriyagya, because these yagyas are called vratas, vows. I am known as a grihastha. Unfortunately, you have given me great displeasure by misguiding my sons for no reason to the path of renunciation. This can be tolerated once. You have made me lose my sons once, and now you have again done the same inauspicious things. Therefore, you are a rascal who does not know how to behave towards others. You may travel all over the universe, but I curse you to have no residence anywhere. Sri Shukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, since Narada Muni is an approved saintly person, when cursed by Prajapati Daksha, he replied, Tadvadam, yes. Tadvadam, yes. What you have said is good. I accept this curse. He could have cursed Prajapati Daksha in return, but because he is tolerant and merciful sadhu, he took no action. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice chapter. Thank you, Parth Prabhu. Early thoughts? What do you want to share? How was it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, it is very interesting. I mean, it's looking from the perspective of Daksha as a uh, Ved following Grihastha. It may seems that justified that he cursed Narada Muni, but from a higher perspective of devotional and detachment, maybe Narada Muni was superior.
Hmm. Yeah. Let's see what Prabhupada writes further. Omagyanatimirandhasya Gyananjanasalakya Chakshuramiladamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagatamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Saha Gana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadbhaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Gana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नारायण नमस्कृत्यं वरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अबद्धेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So this is a wonderful chapter, mainly because we see what happens between devotees. This is one thing. In fact, Daksha Prajapati is a great devotee that even he could have the darshan of the Lord. Such a great devotee. And what to speak about Narad Muni? Wherever he goes, he turns stones to gold, which means he turns anyone to a devotee. And then we see here all of a sudden that Daksha has cursed Narad Muni. Isn't it such an um, astonishing topic? And that's why this is being discussed. Sukadev Goswami is sharing this in this along when he was describing how the creation happened, how this dynasties came in, and then we went through Ajamil pastime. After Ajamil pastime comes Hamsa Guhya prayers, where Daksha proves his greatness as a devotee with his wonderful prayers that he heard from Brahma, and after that he began his service. His service, that too, he is an expert in that service. Expertise is something uh, um, not everything, but definitely expertise. Daksha has its own importance. It's not like, okay, you can be a freestyle to do whatever you want. No, you need to be an expert in what you do, but along with expertise, there is also other aspects that we will see what happened in this through this particular chapter. So, Daksha begot 10,000 sons in the womb of Asikni, and how many? 10,000. They were Haryashvas. And instructed by the father, they went to uh, uh, become qualified to enter into Grihastha ashram. When they went out of compassion, seeing that these 10,000 were no ordinary people. They are excellent because they were well positioned in austerities, and they are very, very, um, yeah, they are brahmacharis. They are very, very pakka brahmacharis. So Narad Muni sees, why to enter into a grihastha. Mm. Grihastha, it's not like to be seen something lower, but it can be seen that it can also be entrapping. And rather, if one is careful while walking on this path, which is narrow and very slippery in the brahmachari ashram, but under an expert guide like Narad Muni, one can attain perfection. And this is what happened in the case of Haryashvas. So all the 10,000, they advanced under the guidance of their spiritual master Srila Narad Muni, and and they attained perfection. Isn't amazing? And this was not so easily received when it came to Daksha. And this is what we are seeing afterwards. What happened is Nasham Nishamya Putranam Naradach Chila Shalinam uh, Anvatapyata Kah Sochan Suprajaswan Sucham Padam. He's saying the Haryashvas were very well behaved, cultured son, but unfortunately, the word used here is unfortunately, because of the instructions of Narad Muni, they deviated from the orders of their father. So, this deviating from the orders of the father can be seen as a disobedience, as an offense. Yeah, the instructions of the father are to be accepted. But when Daksha heard this news, which was brought to him by Narad Muni, he began to lament. He became so, Prabhupada writes in the purport, although he was the father of such good sons, he had lost them all. Certainly, this was lamentable. So that is the situation. The father is having a plan for his son, and the father expects a great future for the sons. And Daksha had a great future that he was thinking, hey, enter into Grihastha ashram. Yeah, they can still be devotees, that's fine, but they can be uh, good householders. And and Daksha wanted to give this opportunity. Either you become materialistic or you become spiritual, but at least I want to give that opportunity. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, of course, Prajapati Daksha did not make propaganda against Narada Muni, but later, as we shall see, Daksha cursed Narada Muni for his benevolent activities. This is the way of materialistic life. A materialistic father and mother want to engage their sons in begetting children, striving for improved economic and conditions and rotting in the materialistic life. This is something like pampering. We know what is pampering is to care, but when it comes to over pampering or actually pampering blind out of seeing what is the harm this pampering can do, that is not helpful. So providing all the facilities to the children for their comfort, if we are seeing only from a materialistic point of view, that it means like we are actually not loving our children, we are not taking care of our children, because the only thing we are interested is that they may live a very happy material life, which means there may not be any bad um bad, what do you call this, or they may have only prosperous life. And what is this prosperous life? the meaning of prosperous life for us is so that one becomes economically positioned, because today in Kali Yuga, in these times, we see that whoever has more voice, whoever has more wealth, uh, and whoever has more women following, mm, Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. Yeah. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. So, as a devotee of the Lord, one is avoiding all this, whereas materialistic way of living is to make sure that one gets this. That's why we have so much struggle of finding a good girl for marriage, for example. Nadanam, Najanam, na Sundarim. So everyone wants Sundari, and Sundari means all attractive. Whether we don't know how Krishna may look or not, but the girl should look spotless, should be fair, should be tall, should be, expert, and should be that, should be this, including everything. She should be completely obedient, as if like, um, yeah, humble blade of grass. So anyway, that's not the point. I think there's so many other aspects to cover here. So here it says that they are not unhappy when their children become spoiled, unless citizens, sorry, useless citizens, but they lament when they join the Krishna consciousness movement to achieve the ultimate goal of life. This is, we may have seen our own lives, how it could be. We may see how the lives of devotees, we may see in Prabhupada Leelamrut, the occasions, how the parents felt so much inconvenient when their children they joined Hare Krishna movement. Hmm. To deliver as many fallen souls as possible, Narad Muni continues playing his musical instruments and vibrating the transcendental sound. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is the power of the holy name. And of course, yeah, the question is coming, did Narad Muni really chant exactly the same mantra? If we are not envious, we can accept it, because there is no difference between this mantra or when Narada Muni is saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya that he gave to Dhruva Maharaj. Any which is called Brahma, I think it comes in one of the verses later. Is It means chanting the name, vibrating. This is the uh, best service one can offer to the mankind, and this is the best opportunity one can have in their life so that he can go back to the spiritual world. Sabhuya panchajanyayam ajena parishanvityah putran ajanayad dakshaha sabalashva sahasrinam. Now, what Prajapati Daksha did is, yeah, he's a servant, he is a devotee. What will he do? He will just continue. Okay, maybe this is the will of the Lord. What can I do? I did try to offer my service by expanding the population. After all, that was what I'm inspired to do, the service. So after he lost his 10,000, now he thought, okay, let me try with a small batch, a small sample. So he went with 1,000 more children in the womb of Panchajani. This time his sons were known as Shavalasvas. Shavalasvas, 10,000 and sorry, 1,000. And Daksha, yeah, he says, was so named because he was very expert in begetting children. That's why we can see. How is it possible 10,000 people these days are struggling even to have one child? That too with great difficulty one may have with so many means and processes. And of course, um, where did I hear recently? I came across if someone, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some Someone was saying, hey, if someone didn't have children, they have tried all medical things. The best thing is just offer some thing to cows, and the cows will bless and all. So many things are there, so that we can understand how difficult today is to get children. And Prajapati Daksha is being so expert, he could, yeah, just like a machine which can roll out chapatis in no time. Seems so simple for Prajapati Daksha. He could roll out 10,000 children, now 1,000 children. He begot another set of children known as Shavalashvas. Prajapati Daksha is very expert in begetting children. Narad Muni is also very expert. In one is bringing and other one is delivering. So just like you see a pizzeria, there is experts how they are making pizza coming, and then there is expert who is bringing it out. What is it called? Zomato, Tomato, Swiggy, so many expert how these. Um, anyway, so here we can see Narad Muni is very expert, and he's so expert in doing the best kind of job that one can expect or should expect is um, delivering all the conditioned souls back to Godhead. That is what his expertise is. Therefore, the materialistic experts do not agree with the spiritualist experts, but this does not mean that Narada Muni will give up his engagement of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. This is very important instruction of Prabhupada through this purport is whatever may happen, whether the world may go upside down, chanting the holy name and being in the Krishna consciousness moment is a saving grace. ते च पित्रा समादिष्टा प्रजा सर्गे धृता व्रता नारायण सरो जग्मुर yatra siddha swa purvaja. So, in accordance with his father, they again went to the same. The second group of sons also went to Narayana Sara, the same place where their brothers have previously attained perfection by following the instructions of Narada. And there they again undertook vows and austerities, and being in such a great, they also proved for uh, um, Narad Muni to they proved, first of all, their greatness to their father, and by following his instructions, they went to the same Narayana Saras. After going there, they also followed austerity, which attracted Narad Muni. Very simple. So, which means Narad Muni is saying, if even one is sincerely endeavoring, to take austerious life to advance in devotion, that is the qualities that attracts Narad Muni. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, as a dutiful father, he did not hesitate to allow his sons to receive cultural instructions concerning the perfection of life. He depended upon them to choose whether to return home or to rot in the material world in various species of life. And this is Prabhupada tells further instructions to the parents. In all the circumstances, the duty of the father is to give cultural education to his sons, who must later decide which way to go. What is it? It is not like one has to spoon feed or hand hold and take till the last breath. It's not like that. He should give the culture, because you know what is culturing, right? I mean, in biological terms also, it is not that you are keeping a spoon of what do you do? Yogurt into milk every minute or every hour. You just put it, and then this culturing happens that this milk is transforming into curd. So a drop of curd is transforming into complete curd. So this is culturing, which means here we also see what that the duty of the father is to support to us to a time. Uh, this is it is said responsible fathers should not hinder their sons who are making cultural advancement in association with the Krishna consciousness movement. Of course, here we are not talking, I mean, Satish Baba, I don't know if you're there. Yeah, here we are not talking about culture means, you know, um, Telugu culture, Tamil culture, or Marathi culture, or Gujarati culture. I think we are mixing up what is culture and what is tradition. Here, here we are referring to the cultural advancement means that character. Uh, this is not the father's duty. The duty of the father is to give his son complete freedom to make his choice after becoming spiritually advanced by following the instructions of spiritual master. Here it is very clear. It is that the father's duty is very easy duty. What he has to do is he has to connect him to Guru. And Guru is then taking over so that under the Guru's instructions, the disciple, the son of the father, is advancing. This is what we can see also what happened in the case of Hiranyakashipu. At that time, he sent Prahlad to Gurukula. He didn't, how much could he try to change Prahlad? It was not easy. He just sent to Gurukul. Why? In fact, that is the tradition, that is the system, yeah, rather than we say tradition, we can say that is a system to develop spiritual culture. Of course, what is taught is different. So we may say that we are also, hey, we are also responsible fathers, we are also responsible mothers, we are also sending our kids to schools, from a Montessori school to what is this? What is this school? In Germany. Rupa, what is this school? Mm.
Waldorfschule.
Waldorfschule, yeah, see, giving all the best Sattvic environment, or it can be international school, or it is can be, I said Montessori is covered, yeah, concept school, uh, techno concept schools, um, whatnot. All kinds of schools are there, isn't it? I'm still looking for another kind of school. Forgot. Maybe you may have heard many other kinds of schools. Convent. Yeah, of course. All.
Gurukul,
Uh,
Gurukul also is the international school in Hyderabad.
yeah. See, Gurukul, Golconda. So many, so many schools are there. Yeah, and yeah. So it's not that the that father is now saying, "Hey, my job is done." Why? Because they are not getting culture in these schools. What they're getting is more stress because it shows how to behave more in a higher class, become more and more corporate, suitable, more and more mm, more and more what do you call adambar, more and more hypocrites, yeah, so to say. And of course, with a disclaimer, not every school comes into this. Maybe some schools have right initiatives, but the parents are not encouraging the schools to do it. Because I have my friend, school friend, who's a devotee who opened a school in Hyderabad. Yeah, with all these very nice qualities and character, everything in that, he really is very, very devotional, practices Krishna consciousness for many years. He, in fact, um, yeah, that is his dream, so that he can make this proper education. Because the fathers and mothers can come and say, Prabhu, you are saying wonderful from Bhagavatam, but where are the schools so that we can put? So these are such schools which are helping. But sometimes what may happen is the parents may not have patience. The parents might compare immediately with the neighbors, and the neighbors are saying, "Hey, our kids, they have rank one. Our kids, you know what, they are getting AIT and all these things." So, yeah, this sometimes becomes challenging for the school authorities to maintain that pure level of teaching, uncompromising levels. But yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, he's doing his best to make it and expanding also, which is also a nice sign. But the duty of a father is not just to make sure that his livelihood is managed, that he has a peaceful life, he has a prosperous life, but to give him the right culture, which is Krishna consciousness, right from the young age. Then, yeah, then the parents can retire early. Why? Because the kids can be on their own. What they do, they can do confidently. What they um, deliver, they can deliver confidently. When these things are done properly, then the parents can, yeah, they can uh, engage life in further devotional practices by taking maybe early material retirements or some other things. So that summarizes the importance of a guru in our life, in everyone's life. Tad upasparshanad eva vinirduta malashaya japanto brahma paramam Tepus tatra mahattapaha. Here, this mantra is I told na, at this Narayana Saras, Shabalashvas performed penances with the same way as the first. They bathed in the holy water and by its touch, all the dirty material desires in their hearts were cleansed away. They murmured mantras beginning with Omkara and underwent a severe course of austerity. And this is the purport I was referring, which mentions every Vedic mantra is called Brahma because every mantra is preceded by Brahmakshara. What is that? Om. Om is the Brahmakshara or Omkar. For example, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. In all the Vedic mantras, I am represented by Pranava, Omkar. So, thus chanting the Vedic mantras beginning with Omkar is directly chanting uh, of Krishna's name. There is no difference. Whether one chants Omkara or addresses the Lord as Krishna, the meaning is the same. Okay, till here I think, oh, very nice, because I like to chant Om. So let me continue Om. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that in this age, one chant the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Although there is no difference between Hare Krishna and the Vedic mantra beginning with Omkara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the leader of the spiritual movement for this age, has recommended that one chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And yeah, it's so simple. When we have no feelings of any envy in our heart, why should I accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? When we have this question, uh, when we don't appreciate the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is non-different from Krishna, uh, then we have a challenge, and then we start thinking, no, no, I will come with Om. After all, Om is very easy. In a matter of 10 minutes, I can do 1,000. Uh, Hare Krishna is long. By the way, Hare Krishna is looking phonetic. Hare Krishna, did it come recently because Prabhupada only has established? No, it is there from beginning. And for this age, Narad Muni, Lord Brahma heard from Narad. No, Lord Narad Muni heard from Lord Brahma. This is what is seen in the Kali Santaran Upanishad. In the age of Kali, what is the mantra? The 16-letter mantra. That is what comes down. And you may have heard it the different way, which is like Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So this is not just that ISKCON has produced. One may say, no, no, maybe ISKCON has kind of twisted it. Yeah, they might have given the Krishna consciousness movement, so they wanted, so that's why they have brought this Krishna in the front, Rama is in the back. Do we want to spend into these discussions of what started, what is first, what is second, or accept as it is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling and continue? And in the end, after you repeat the mantra, then what you see, you won't be knowing whether you are is Krishna first coming or is Ram first coming, because it's a japa cycle, and does shouldn't really be a concern to chant. What did they chant here? Ab bhakshaha, katichin masan. What did they eat? This is aradhyan mantram imam abhyasyanta idaspatim om namo narayanaya purushaya mahatmane vishuddha sattva dishnyaya maha hamsaya dhimahe. Dhimahi. This is what. For a few months, what did they eat? What did they drink? They drank only water and ate only air. Thus, undergoing great austerities, they received this mantra. And then Prabhupada again mentions, from this verse, it is apparent that the chanting of Maha Mantra of the Vedic mantra must be accompanied by severe austerities. So, this is something very sensitive. We may say it's secondary, but it can help one to improve the quality of chanting. What is it? Austerities. What is it's or the Vedic mantras must be accompanied by severe austerities. In Kali Yuga, people cannot undergo severe austerities like those mentioned herein, drinking only water and eating only air for many months. For me, it's a mission impossible. Uh, One cannot imitate such a process, but at least one must undergo some austerities by giving up four unwanted, four unwanted principles, namely illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. If someone is coming and asking, "Hey, why are you people doing all these things? Why are you so, you're missing the juice of life?" What Parth Prabhu? We were discussing about rasa, na? Yeah, when you're serving sabji.
Yeah. Yes, Raj.
Oh. That rasa is missing, and when that rasa is missing, what is the purpose of all other things are very dry. This is why we want to include illicit sex in our life. We want to have meat eating in our life. Intoxication, come on. The nectar of that rasa and gambling, after all, huh? It gives a lot of fun. How can we miss all these things? Yeah, if we continue this, will we ever turn to japa? Hmm?
Prabhuji, rasa is also diluted, so it will dilute your uh,
Digestion.
not digestion, the other solid things which are required for
Yeah,
progress.
the substance is diluted. Huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, we can't go to Asian countries and say this because they say, hey, soups are lives. They, a lot of rice. Anyway, the point here is anyone can easily practice this tapasya, and then the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra will be effective without delay. Yeah, sometimes we may come across this question, or we may ourselves self-introspect and find, hey, why am I'm chanting, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm chanting, but I'm not advancing. Come on, I can see so many are advancing so nicely, becoming great devotees within no time. Yeah, they just were doing one round, but very nicely, 16 rounds in no time. They're enthusiastic in their services. How is that energy coming? How is that enthusiasm there? We can see here it is coming because they have took up tapasya in their life. Otherwise, it's not possible. Which means prioritizing Krishna in life, not being casual with Krishna. Hmm. And one should not give up the process of austerity. This is Prabhupada. If possible, one should bathe in the water of Ganges or Yamuna, or in the absence of Ganges or Yamuna, one may bath in the water of sea. This is an item of austerity. Our Krishna consciousness movement has therefore established two very large centers, one in Vrindavan and another in Mayapur, Navadvip. There one may bath in Ganges or Yamuna, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and thus become perfect and return home back to Godhead. See, I'm repeating again. The process process is simple. What is that? There one may bath in Ganges or Yamuna, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and thus become perfect and return home back to Godhead. The other day, I was talking to my friend's parents. They are now in Varanasi. There is a way like how many months, Rupa? 9 months, na? Vasi. Kasi Vas means if you
Yeah,
yeah,
9 days or nine
yeah, you
months.
stay 9 months in Varanasi. Every day you take a bath, of course. If one is healthy, fit, then he can take every day, I mean, bath in the Ganges. And after that, then go and have the darshan of the temples, absorb always. And I asked my friend, okay, or I asked my aunt, yeah, his mother, and I asked, what is the process? The 9 months, it is said that one should not even go to the railway station. Yeah, whatever may happen because of Mahakumbha Mela also, yeah, they can't just go leave the place. Yeah, during these 9 months, they are very rigid in following these rules that you should not accept anything from anyone. You should only give. You should only eat once. So many, and that is what is Kasi Vash. It's not like okay, one goes there to find a nice flat and to stay there for 9 months. I mean, why I'm giving this example is yeah, yeah, whoever they can attain their perfection by that process. And here, one who is very serious in Krishna consciousness, yeah, they can just go to Mayapur or Vrindavan, so that they can take bath. Yeah, it's very nice. Daily go touch the water, touching the water. You have seen Sabalashvas and Haryashvas. What they did, they went, they touched the water. Touching the water itself is enough. Yeah, need not. Oh no, I don't know swimming. Oh, the water is like that. Oh, my health is weak. All these things. No, just go. What is that favorite? Keshi Ghat. Yeah, nice place. Go there, touch the water, and then yeah, if you enjoy the nice sun there, sit on this very nicely made. I don't know what you call this domes or platforms where you can just sit there, do japa, and Prabhupada is saying what. Huh? There, chant Hare Krishna mantra and then become perfect and return home back to God. Such a nice, easy principle. Huh? इति तान् अपि राजेन्द्र प्रजा सर्ग दियो मुनिः उपेत्य नारदः प्राह वाचः कूटानि पूर्ववत्. He's saying, O King Parikshit, Narad Muni approached the sons of Prajapati Daksha who were engaged in tapasya to beget children and spoke he again spoke enigmatic words like he spoke to the elder brothers. Dakshayana samshrunota gadato nigamam mama anvichchatanu padavim bratranam bratra vatsalah. Now he's saying, oh, my dear sons or so brothers of Ashwa, who is that? Haryashvas, hear my words attentively. You are all very affectionate to your elder brothers, Haryashvas. Therefore, you should follow their path. This is the expertise of a devotee. It is said Vaishnava Chatura. Why Vaishnavas are clever is they understand. It's not that they are mm, smart in a negative sense, or they are not clever in a negative sense to exploit. They are clever in how best one can easily engage themselves in Krishna consciousness. So Narad Muni encouraged Prajapati Daksha's second group of sons by what? By awakening their natural affinity for their brothers. He urged them to follow their older brothers. Family affection is very strong, and therefore Narad Muni followed this tactic of reminding them of their family relationship with Harshasvas. So, and of course, the purport is long. The point there is we should be not just straight away jump into action. Most successful people of the world, they are active listeners, which means active listening is not just hearing, but active listening means to understand various angle or point of views, why this is coming, what is this purpose, and etc. And then with one's experience, he is then applying or responding. Here we can see that um Narad Muni is saying, okay, how to easily awaken Krishna consciousness in Shabalashvas. Yeah, it is easy. Just they have to say, hey, your brothers have attained success, so it's not impossible for you. Yeah, your brothers, yeah, you know how they have attained it, and you can just follow that. So, in Bhagavatam, anarthopashamam sakshad bhakti yogam adokshaje lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhita. It says the material miseries of living entity which are superfluous to him can be directly mitigated by linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature which is in relation to the Supreme. So this Bhagavatam is a treasure. It's amazing treasure which will give us everything we need to attain ultimate goal of our life. So therefore, Narad Muni instructed Vyasadeva to record the instructions of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Vyasadeva actually followed Narada and did this. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the supreme instruction of the Vedas. Galitam phalam, the ripened fruit of Vedas is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Bhratranam prayanam bhratra yo anuttishtati dharmavit sapunya bandhu purusho marudbhi saha modate. Again, here it's mentioned a brother aware of the principles of religion follows in the footsteps of his elder brothers. This means the elder brothers should be role models so that the younger brothers can follow. This is how the chain, this is how the, even when, not only about brothers, we talk about God brothers. We talk about God sisters. Why? Because we have this seniority. When we talk about etiquette, how come the seniority is measured? It is not based on how many years one is in, has become a disciple. Oh, you know what? In 1990, I became the disciple. I'm the only one at that time. After that, you all came. But what if I don't do service? Whatever the instructions that came from Guru from 1990, if I don't benefit from that, for a namesake, I'm senior. A brother, aware of the principles of religion, follow in the footsteps of his elder brother, means that a god brother is following a senior god brother. Why? Because the senior god brother has the experience, has the understanding, has practiced it, has shown us how to practice. So that way, when we follow in the footsteps of the senior brothers, yeah, here it is mentioned, and also senior god brothers, what happens is then, because of being highly elevated, such a pious brother gets the opportunity to associate and enjoy with the, in this case, yeah, we are talking about brothers. Whatever the brothers attain, the followers will attain. Here it says, like Maruts, and who are all affectionate to their brothers. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, according to their belief in various material relationships, people are promoted to various planets. Here it is said that one who is very faithful to his brothers should follow a path similar to theirs and get the opportunity to promote to Marudloka. But Narad Muni advised Prajapati Daksha's second group of sons to follow their elder brothers and be promoted to where? Where Haryashvas went. Where did they go? Spiritual world. So amazing. Etavad uktva prayayo narado mogha darshana tepi chanvagaman margam bhratranam eva marisha. This is what happened. This is what happened. Uh, Shukadev Goswami is saying, oh, best of advanced Aryans, Parikshit Maharaj, after saying this much to the sons, there is need not to tell too much. Yeah? Already he said, hey, whatever he has to say, he gave that nice allegorical, uh, metaphorical, enigmatic example about the materialistic grahastha life to the Haryashvas. And here, he didn't have to tell anything. He just told, follow your elder brothers, you get the same destination. Not attempting to produce. So the sons of Daksha followed their elder brothers, not attempting to produce children. And now what happened? Became a problem. Why? Sadrichinam pratichinam parasyanupatham gataha nadyapi te nivartante paschima yaminir iva. Is saying, so this Sabalashvas took to the correct path, which is obtainable by the mode of life meant to achieve the devotional service or the mercy of the Lord. Like knights that have gone to the west, they have not returned even until now. I do not know what it means. It could be that the night, when the night starts, so the night is there. But Prabhupada also, yeah, he didn't add a purport. So, I mean, I don't know what it means. Maybe we can ask someone else. एतस्मिन् काल उत्पातान् बहून् पश्यन् प्रजापतिः पूर्ववन् नारद कृतं पुत्रनाशम् upashrunot. It says, at this time, Prajapati observed many inauspicious signs and he heard from various sources that his second group, gone, second batch, gone, had followed the path of their elder brothers in accordance with the instructions of Narad Muni. Chukroda, this became very, not just angry. Chukroda Naradaya so Putra Shoka Vimurchita Devarshem Upalabhyaha Roshad Vispuritadhara. Now became very Now, what to do from this? Yes, he became very angry when he heard this is what has happened. When Daksha met Narad Muni, Daksha's lips became trembling, rose out of anger, and he spoke as follows. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Narad Muni had delivered an entire family of Swayambhu Manu, beginning with Priyavrata Uttanapada. He had delivered Uttanapada's sons Dhruva and have even delivered Prachina Barhi, who was engaged in fruitive activities. Nevertheless, he could not deliver Prajapati Daksha. He didn't even go and try that. Prajapati Daksha saw Narada before him because Narada had personally come to deliver him. Narad Muni took the opportunity to approach Prajapati Daksha. Why? You know what happens? When Putra Shok happens, what happens to the father? He thinks the world, he lost everything in the world, he has nothing more, he is, what do you call, alive dead or no? Like a alive dead? No. Yes, there is some word, no? As if, yeah. Yeah, yeah. In Sanskrit, Jiva Shava. It's like a living dead body. It's something like that. I think in one of the purports, Prabhupada mentions that. So that is the condition of the father when he lost, and here he lost 10,000, uh, 11,000, yeah, sons. And then this is a nice thing. He thought, oh, now maybe Daksha could be interested to understand, hey, understood the reality of life is temporary. You may get something for a matter of happiness before you are happy, then it's gone. We know what happened in the case of Chitraketu. So Narad Muni thought, oh, it's nice time. So, Prabhupada writes that there are four kinds of men. Artha, one who is distressed. Artharthi, one who needs money, Jigyasu, one who is inquisitive, and Jnani, one who is a person in knowledge. And now Daksha seems to be Arthi. Oh, distress, great distress because of loss of his son. Therefore, Narad Muni took the opportunity to instruct him. See the courage, uh, and also positive, um, uh, hope. Yeah, hope. He had a great hope. Nada took hope and he went. Sri Daksha Uvacha Aho Ashada Sadhu Nam Sadhu Lingena Nas Tvaya Asadva Akari Arbhakanam Bhikshor Marga Pradarshita. Yeah, you are like the path of a beggar or a mendicant or a sannyasi, but are you really? He starts chastising. He starts saying, hey, Narad Muni, you wear the dress of a saintly person. Means Prajapati Daksha, he is already saying you are not a saintly person. Huh? Yeah, there is little correlation, there is little similarity between Daksha and Narada Muni here to what Daksha and Lord Shiva in Daksha Yajna happened. You wear the dress of a saintly person, but you are not actually a saint. So far is okay. Just like there in that Daksha is saying, hey Shiva, what kind of a person you are? He says to the whole assembly, right? Everyone, remember, I am speaking everything perfect. I am not jealous or envious. Here he says, next line is, indeed, although I am now in Grihastha life, I am a saintly person. By showing my sons the path of renunciation, you have done me an abominable injustice. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sanyashira Alpa Chidra Sarva Loke Gaya. I mean, it's a Bengali, I don't know how did I say, but in society, one will find many sannyasis, vanaprasthas, grihasthas, and brahmacharis. But if all of them properly live in accordance with their duties, they are understood to be sadhus. Very important. What does that mean? A grihastha is sadhu, a brahmachari is sadhu, a vanaprastha is sadhu, a sannyasi is a sadhu only if he follows properly uh, duties in accordance with their duties. What is that dharma? Varnashrama dharma. Prajapati Daksha was certainly a sadhu because he had executed such great austerities that the Supreme Lord Vishnu had appeared before him. Nevertheless, nevertheless, he had a fault-finding mentality. This is highlighted. I mean, in the purport. It's he improperly thought Narad Muni to be a sadhu or non-saintly because Narada had foiled his intentions. Which means, yeah, desiring to train his sons to become grihasthas fully equipped with knowledge, Daksha has sent them to execute austerities in Narayana Saras. But Narad Muni changed the plan. This is the duty of Narad Muni and his followers. It is said, Narad Muni, however, taking advantage of their highly elevated position in austerity. This is also important. The gurus are not just going, hey, come on, I'm showing my chest, I'm showing my muscles. I can change anyone. I can expertly change anyone. No, they see who is really interested. If one is slightly interested with their sense of austerity, instructed them to become Vaishnavas in the renounced order. This is the duty of Narad Muni and his followers. They must show everyone the path of renouncing this material world and returning back home, back to Godhead. Prajapati Daksha, however, could not see the exaltedness of duty of Narad Muni performed in relation to his sons. Unable to appreciate Narad Muni's behavior, Daksha accused Narada of being a sadhu. This is first accusation, accused him, acquisition, no. The word Bhikshur Marga, the path of renounced order, are very significant in this regard. A sannyasi is called Tridandi Bhikshu because his duty is to beg alms from the homes of grihasthas and to give the grihastha spiritual instruction. That is what it is not that, oh, there is nothing to eat. Oh, I can't work. I'm unemployed since a long time. I don't have shelter. Of course. Have anyone recently read in Berlin? There are people who are living under the bridge roofs. Anyone heard? Anyone read that? No one? There are people who are working daytime in offices, but because the earnings are not so high that they can maintain a flat in costly cities like Berlin, they are having, these tents, small tents, or
Yes, Swamiji.
there is
Yes.
also, yeah, they stay, yeah, they sleep overnight like that, and again go and work. So of course, yeah, they're not big shoes. I just wanted to bring that. Another thing is there are also some, these buses, you know, mm, Volvo buses, yeah, which are out of order, which cannot work, which don't have AC, which don't have anything. So some out of compassion or service, charity, whatever you call, they give facilities in their buses that they can stay there. So we are not talking about these bhikshus who are using free living. Here, bhikshur marga means the path of renounced order. It's not like, okay, nighttime you are forced to live a austerious life. Daytime you are enjoying. As soon as you get money, what will you do? Huh? You get busy. So a sannyasi is called Tridandi sannyasi, bhikshu, because his duty is to beg alms, duty, and this is a duty, means begging alms from the homes of grihasthas and to give the grihasthas spiritual instructions. This is very important. We may see that sadhu, for example, when we invite Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj or even seniors, for that matter, need not be married, need not be sannyasis, even married. Yeah, they don't just go and say, "Hey, I'm hungry. Can you give me prasadam?" No, they tolerate. It's not that they go and ask, but here we see that they go and ask alms. Bhikshur means to beg, right? They we are talking about two different levels of bhikshuks. Yeah, one is going and asking. They also go only when they really need to maintain the body. And then we see also when Prabhupada, of course, Prabhupada always, there were everyone coming, hey, let me make this, I want to make this, I want to cook that. And there were so many servants. And one may see, how come that sannyasi is eating so much? This is always when the cap of envy comes, and then we start thinking, hey, why is he eating so much? Or if someone is asking, why is he asking? So many, this is all because we don't have bhakti towards a good person, good people. A sannyasi is allowed to beg from door to door, but a grihastha cannot do so. Grihastha may earn their living according to the four divisions of spiritual life. A Brahman Grihastha may earn his livelihood by becoming a learned scholar and teaching people in general how to worship the Lord. He may also assume the duty of worship himself. Duty of worship himself is what? If someone is offering service to Brahmana, that is accepted, that is approved. This is what it means. Huh? So that's why we see that Brahmanas are worshipped, which is according to the duty. Therefore, it is said that only Brahmanas may engage in deity worship and they may accept as prasad whatever people offer the deity. Although a Brahmana may sometimes accept charity, it is not for his personal maintenance but for the worship of the deity. Thus, a Brahman does not stock anything for his future use. Similarly, Kshatriyas may collect taxes from the citizens and they must also protect the citizens. Vaishyas should earn their livelihood through the agriculture and cow protection, and Shudras should maintain their livelihood by serving the three higher classes. Unless one becomes a Brahman, one cannot take sannyas. Very important. Sannyasi and brahmacharis may beg alms door to door, but a grihastha cannot. Anyway, on the occasion of the two, yeah, on one side we see Narad Muni, on the other side we see also Daksha. Prajapati Daksha condemned Narad Muni because Narad Muni, a brahmachari who could beg from door to door, had made sannyasis of Daksha's sons who were being trained to become grihasthas. This is what, hey, come on, I created it. These are my people. And what are you coming and doing? You're changing them. According to Daksha's opinion, Narad Muni has misled Daksha's inexperienced sons. That's why he is saying, Asadva, Akari, Arbhakan. Arbhakan means one who are not strong, or, kids who are not mature. Daksha regarded his sons as innocent boys who had been misled by when Narad Muni showed them the renounced order of life. Because of all this consideration, Daksha charged that Narad Muni was a sadhu and should not have adopted the dress of a sadhu. So this is, I mean, the purport is again long and also full there. But I'll go to the next. In the Western countries, especially, these four prohibited activities practically constitute the life and soul of the modern population. Whatever, no meat eating, come on. Uh, any restaurant, only vegetarian restaurant, it's very difficult to find. When I was in Sri Kalahasti, in those four main streets where the deities, there was only one restaurant which was a non-vegetarian restaurant. All others were vegetarian. So people, there was a lot of demand. If someone want to eat meat or non-veg, they can only go there. Of course, after that streets, there are so many. But yeah, so this means in the Western world, it's not that, it's the other way. To find a vegetarian restaurant in a city is very difficult. And similarly, legalized sex life. Oh no, come on, that we know what it means. Oh, why should I have all these obligations towards a partner? First, when I came to Germany, I heard only partners. Then I heard dating, and yeah, the generations are changing. Now people are don't even interested to have uh, partners. Rather, they would just mm, come up with so many concepts of co-living, or whenever you like, we can be together. It's like friends, yeah. If you want, you can stay together. Whenever you don't want, you can just move on. Anyway, so therefore the parents sometimes dislike our movement, just as Prajapati Daksha disliked the activities of Narada and accused Narada of dishonesty. Nevertheless, although the parents may be angry at us, we must perform our duty without hesitation because we are in the disciplic succession from Narada Muni. This is what is mentioned. So, Rinair Tribhir Amuktanam Amimam Sita Karmanam Vigataha Shreyasa Papa Lokayor Ubhayo Krita. Prajapati Daksha is saying, hey, my sons were not at all freed from their three debts. Indeed, they did not properly consider their obligations. O Narada, O personality of sinful activity, sinful action, you have obstructed their progress toward good fortune in this world and the next because they are still indebted to the saintly people, demigods, and their forefathers. And their fathers. Again, the purport, please go through that. I'll go to the main part here. Apparently, Prajapati Daksha did not know the final decision of the Shastras. What is the final destination? Devarshi Bhutapta Nunam Pitranam Na Kinkaro Nayam Rini Cha Rajan Sarvatmana Yaha Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihrita Kartam. It says, everyone is indebted to the demigods, to the living entities in general, to his family, to the pitas and so on. But if one fully surrenders to Krishna Mukunda, who can give one liberation, even if one performs no yajnas, one is freed from all debts. If he renounced the material world for the sake of Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose lotus feet are shelter of everyone, this is the verdict of the Shastra. Therefore, Narad Muni was completely right in instructing the sons of Prajapati, Daksha, to renounce their material world immediately and take shelter of the Lord. Unfortunately, Prajapati Daksha, the father of the Haryashvas and Shabalasvas, did not understand the great service rendered by Narad Muni. Uh, it is something like when we see Hadiya Pandit. Hadiya Pandit was a nice Brahman, great devotee. Um, then one day, one brahmachari, the bhikshuk came and he stayed at Hadiya Pandit's home at that time. I think Padmavati. So Padmavati and Hadiya Pandit. So there was a there was mm, Nitai, very very young, who was serving this bhikshuk. And when he was leaving, he asked, "Please give me your son uh, in my service." So the parents, it was a big shock. But in the end, what happened? In the end, they accepted it because what can be great fortune than to be an instrument in the service of such great sadhus? So that is the point here that Daksha was not able to see. He merely performed his duty as a Vaishnava by delivering all the sons of Prajapati, enabling them to return back to Godhead. एवं त्वं निरानुक्रोश बालानामतिभिद् धरे पार्षड sorry पार्षड मध्ये चरसि यशोहा निरपत्रपः. He's saying, thus committing violence against other living entities and yet claiming to be an associate of Lord Vishnu, you are defaming the Lord. You are a hypocrite. Indirectly, is saying you needlessly created a mentality of renunciation in innocent boys. There is no need. Why? They have to see the world. Uh, they have to see the world. They have to see good and bad. They have to decide what they have to do. Why are you showing only good and asking them to just follow that? How could you travel with the personal associates of the Supreme Lord? All this is in anger that Prajapati Daksha he is chastising, and then um, um, yeah, but Narad Muni was instead, he accused Narad Muni of being sinful and charged that because Narad Muni was associated with the Supreme Lord, the Lord would also be defamed. Thus, Daksha criticized that Narad Muni was an offender to the Lord, although he was known as an associate of the Lord. ननु भागवता नित्यं भूतानुग्रह कातरः ऋते त्वान् सौहृद घ्नाम वै वैरन karam avairinam. He's saying, all the devotees of the Lord, but you are very kind to the conditioned souls. This means that the level of Daksha has come to that extent that he doesn't regard Narad Muni as devotee at all. He's saying all the devotees of the Lord, but you are very kind to the conditioned souls and are eager to benefit others. Although you wear the dress of a devotee, you create enmity with people who are not your enemies, or you break friendship and create enmity between friends. Are you not ashamed of posing as a devotee while performing these abominable actions? Ah, the dealings of devotee is not so easy to understand. Devotee prioritizes one's good fortune of them taking to back to home, back to Godhead. And here we see such are the criticisms that must be borne by the servants of Narada Muni in the disciplic succession. Through the Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to train young people to become devotees and return home back to Godhead, but by following rigid regulative principles. But our service is appreciated neither in India nor in Western countries, abroad in West, where we are endeavoring to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. In India, the caste Brahmanas have become enemies of Krishna consciousness movement because we elevate foreigners who are supposed to be mlechas and yavanas to the position of Brahmanas, to train them in austerity and penances and recognize them as Brahmanas by awarding them sacred thread. This is what is done. Thus, the caste Brahmanas of India are very displeased by our activities in the Western world. And what happens in the Western world? In the West also, the parents of young people who join this movement have also become enemies. We have no business creating enmities, but the process is such that non-devotees will always be inimical toward us. Again, if we want to highlight, this is the point. There will always be non-devotee. Who is non-devotee? A non-devotee is one who is envious of devotee. Did I speak? Was it with you, Satish Prabhu? I was sharing a concept or a thought, right? I don't know. Anyway,
Yes. Yeah.
here, Prabhupada brings that exact point here in the purport. Uh, we have no business to do that, but the process is such that the non-devotees will always be inimical toward us. Nevertheless, as stated in Shastras, a devotee should be both tolerant and merciful. Devotees engaged in preaching should be prepared to be accused by ignorant persons, and yet they must be very merciful to the fallen conditioned souls. If one can execute his duty in the disciplic succession of Narad Muni, his service will surely be recognized, as stated by Lord in Bhagavad Gita. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshva abhijatasya abhidasyati bhakti mai param kritva mam evaishyasi ashamshaya nacha tasman manushyeshu kaschin me priya kritamah भविता न च मे तस्माद अन्य प्रियतरो bhuvi. It says for one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed. Means one who engages in service of making others devotees, then his life is successful. Hmm. It is not one should think, hey, if others become devotees, what will be my future? If they become devotees, they will become famous. If they become famous, what will happen to my market? There are enough, there are enough people rotting in this world. We can always go knock another door, make them devotees. First, if we are good, if we qualify to become devotees. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever be one more dear. So Krishna is saying this. So and Prabhupada is saying, let us continue preaching the mission of Lord Krishna and not be afraid of enemies. Our only duty is to satisfy the Lord by preaching. We must sincerely serve the Lord and not be deterred by so-called enemies. In this world, anyway, again, further, because of time conscious, I'm moving bit faster. त्वया केवलिना मृषा sorry नित्यं पुंसां विरागः स्यात् त्वया केवलिना मृषा मनसे यद् उपशमं yeah स्नेहपाशा निकृन्तनम is saying, if you think that simply awakening the sense of renunciation will detach one from the material world, I must say that unless full knowledge is awakened, simply changing dresses as you have done cannot possibly bring detachment. What is the next? Acquisition. Accusing? I don't know what is the noun form of it. Acquisition, right?
Acquisition means like bringing things together, Prabhuji.
No, that is procuring, right?
Okay.
Ac-
Like acquiring companies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that is ACQ. I'm saying ACC.
Accusing, Prabhuji.
Anyway, maybe there is a word we don't know. So he's saying that Prajapati Daksha was correct in stating that changing one's dress cannot detach one from this material world. The sannyasis of Kali Yuga who change their robes from white to saffron and then think they can do whatever they like are more abominable than materialistic grihasthas. This is not recommended anywhere. Prajapati Daksha was right in pointing out this defect. But he did not know that Narad Muni had aroused the spirit of renunciation in Haryashvas and Savalashvas. It is not that he just took a paintbrush and he painted them. Uh, no, he actually had given them the choice. He just sparked what is that they need to reflect upon because they know everything. Haryashvas knows everything. They just only as soon as one verse they said they could understand everything. So they are very very not renounced. Uh, Great Gyanis, yeah, they know it. Such enlightened renunciation is desirable. One should enter the renounced order with full knowledge, jnana, vairagya. But the perfection of life is possible for one who renounces this material world in that way. So, and there is no doubt of this. Prajapati Daksha's accusation that Narada had not actually elevated his sons to platform of knowledge was not factual. All the sons of Prajapati Daksha had first been raised to the platform of Jnana and had then automatically renounced this world. In summary, unless one's knowledge is awakened, renunciation cannot take place. For without elevated knowledge, one cannot give up the attachment for material enjoyment. Nanubhuya na janati puman vishaya tikshnatam nirvidyate swayam tasman na tatha bhinna dhi paraihi. And I think this is the last verse of equi- offensing. Maybe that's word I can. So material enjoyment is indeed the cause of all unhappiness, but one cannot give it up unless one has personally experienced how much suffering it is. Huh? I don't know. Hemagori Mataji, I don't know if you have joined. Sage Sai Prabhu, what is your opinion? I don't know if I have to check if they are there. Not there. What do others say? Hmm? Now, this is Daksha is saying, material enjoyment is indeed the cause of all unhappiness. Clear, everyone can accept, but one cannot give it up unless one has personally experienced how much suffering it is. So one has to become so much that he should get this virakti. Rakti means attachment, virakti means detachment. Therefore, one should be allowed to remain in so-called material enjoyment while simultaneously advancing in knowledge to experience the misery of this false material happiness. Oh, very, very perfect, right? Logical. That while you are suffering, you should be exposed to Bhagavad Gita. You continue suffering. No, it doesn't work. It's not like, uh, practicing devotion. Like morning, I am doing my all upacharas to the Lord with all prayers, holding my ears, doing all the sit ups, everything. And as soon as I get into, I don't know if you have seen some movies, you may see some villains are pi- mm, portrayed like that, where he might be a very God-fearing person, but after he finishes his morning puja, what does he do? He starts enjoying royal life. I don't know if you have seen some such kind of villains. I can say another reference from Ramayana. You see Vali. Vali is such a great, he does Gayatri by going all the four directions. Morning rituals is very auspicious, perfect. After that, begins enjoying life like anything. So it is not like that. Can one be free? uh, that one then without help from others one will find material enjoyment detestful. Those whose minds are changed by others do not become as renounced as those who have personal experience. Who was that? In a conversation, someone was saying, I would like to do this swadhyaya myself and I want to read 10 times, 20 times. Yes, this is all nice. It's so nice. Why? Because it's very difficult to get time to read once or twice. One is even having such a great uh, serious endeavor one want to take, but it cannot work out unless one is guided. Prabhupada mentions in the purport. It is said that unless a woman becomes pregnant, she cannot understand the trouble of giving birth to a child. Hmm? Bandhya ki bhunhibe prasava vedana, I think Bengali. The word bandhya means a sterile woman. Such a woman cannot give birth to a child. How then can she perceive the pain of a delivery? Or according to the philosophy of Prajapati Daksha, a woman should first become pregnant and then experience the pain of a childbirth. Then, if she is intelligent, she will not want to be pregnant again. Actually, however, this is not a fact. This is not a fact. Sex enjoyment is so strong that a woman becomes pregnant and suffers at the time of childbirth, but she becomes pregnant again despite her experience. According to Daksha's philosophy, one should become implicated in material enjoyment so that after experiencing distress of such enjoyment, this is not going to happen. Why? Because tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukha bhaja. Uh, Under the circumstances, unless one gets the association of a devotee like Narad Muni or his servant in the disciplic succession, one's dormant spirit of renunciation cannot be awakened. Sadhunam grahmedinam kritavan asi durmasham vipriyam tava oh sorry, I missed one line. Yannas tvam karma sandhanam sadhunam grahamedinam kritavan asi durmarsham vipriyam tava marshitam. He's saying, although I live in the household life with my wife and children, I honestly follow the Vedic injunctions by engaging in fruitive activities to enjoy life without sinful reactions. It is always there. Come on, the Vedas, Karma Kanda is telling how you can lead a sinless life without any sinful reaction. You just follow the Vedas, that's it. You can always enjoy life without any sin, life after life. You don't have to go back to Godhead. This is possible. Daksha is saying, I have performed all kinds of yajnas, including Deva Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Pitra Yajna, Nrina Yajna. Because these yajnas are called vratas, vows, I am known as Graha Vrata. Unfortunately, you have given me great displeasure by misguiding my sons for no reason to the path of renunciation. This can be tolerated once, but yeah, you have done it again. Tantu krintana yan nastvam abhadram acharah punaha tasma lokeshu tu mudha na bhavet brahmatah padam. Now he's saying, you have made me lose my sons once, and now you have again done the same inauspicious thing. Therefore, you are a rascal who does not know how to behave towards others. You may travel all over the universe uh, because I curse you to have no residence anymore. So, that is what is happening. And Prabhupada writes, what a blessing it is. Yeah, one may think, oh, we are always worried, na? What happens tomorrow? Where can I have shelter? But now we see what happens to such people. Because Prajapati Daksha was a Grahamedi who wanted to remain in the household life, he thought that if Narad Muni could remain in one place but have to travel all over the world, that would be a great punishment for him. It is nice, na? So that he cannot have connections, he cannot stay in one place long. What can happen if one has this mentality? He can mess up everything. So better he may be moving. Huh? I don't know if there are any bankers or coming from banking background or kids of bankers, but we may see not even bankers, even government authorities. We know, right? Central government, defense, state government, banking sectors. What they do? They rotate um, the employees. There are a lot of transfers. Why? Hmm? So that they cannot stay there and they can create a mess. So that is a materialistic way of protecting materialistic people. But what Daksha was thinking is how to protect material people from spiritual people. This is what here it says. Because Prajapati Daksha was a Grahamedi who wanted to remain in household life, he thought that if Narad Muni could not remain in one place but have to travel all over the world, that would be a great punishment for him. Actually, Prabhupada, actually, however, such a punishment is a boon for a preacher. Amazing, right? Amazing. Why? A preacher is known as Parivarjaka Acharya, hmm? An Acharya or a teacher who always travels for the benefit of human society. Prajapati Daksha cursed Narad Muni by saying that although he had the facility to travel all over the universe, he would never be able to stay in one place. In the Parampara system from Narad Muni, I have also been cursed. This is what Prabhupada is writing. Although I have many centers that would be suitable places of residence, I cannot stay anywhere, for I have been cursed by the parents of my young disciples. Prabhupada is saying, yeah, there are so many who are cursing. How come if the spiritual person is here, what can happen? This is also sometimes happens in the temple. This Prabhu, if he is there, uh, uh, I can't attain, I can't accomplish what I want. Better take him off, arrange such a way that he cannot return again. And then there's so many things that can happen. Here, what Prabhupada is saying is that how the material world, who are materialistic, their aim is to make sure that they distant people which are dangerous to the mission, dangerous to their motives, interests. I cannot stay anywhere, for I have been cursed by the parents of my young disciples. Since the Krishna consciousness movement was started, I have traveled all over the world 2 or 3 times a year. Uh, and although I am prepared comfortable places to stay wherever I go, I cannot stay anywhere for more than 3 days or a week. I do not mind this curse by the parents of my disciples, but now it is necessary that I stay in one place to finish another task. What is that he writes? This translation of Bhagavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If my young disciples, especially those who have taken sannyas, take charge of traveling all over the world, it may be possible for me to transfer the curse of the parents to these young preachers. Then I may sit down conveniently in one place for the work of translation. See, Prabhupada is not saying, hey, please, Lord, take away this curse. No, he's saying, if if his disciples can take over for a higher purpose, that Prabhupada can give the translations. This is what Prabhupada is praying. Sri Sukha Uvacha, Prati Jagraha Tad Badham, Badham, Narada Sadhu Sammataha, Etavan Sadhu Vado Hi Titiksheswaraha Swayam. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying, my king, my dear king, since Narad Muni is an approved saintly person, when cursed by Prajapati Daksha, he replied, Tad Badham. Yes, when you have said is good. Sir, what you have said is good. I accept this curse. He could have cursed Prajapati Daksha in return, but because he is a tolerant and merciful sadhu, he took no action. And here comes very two important verses which we usually hear. One from Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj, one from Radhanath Maharaj. What is that? Titikshasva karunika suhrida sarva dehinam ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhu bhushana. The 6 qualities of a sadhu is mentioned in that Titikshasva, tolerance. Because Narad Muni is the most elevated of sadhus, devotees, to deliver Prajapati Daksha, he silently tolerated the curse. Otherwise, if he curses, it will be more again, another problem for Daksha. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, has taught this principle to all his devotees. It is not that, oh, Narad Muni exemplary, hey, hooray. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, this is what his followers should imbibe. Trinadapi suni chena tarorapi sahishnuna. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind. Thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, one should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of Lord constantly. It's a nice test of our quality of chanting, depends on humility. So Humility is not to be silent. Very important. Sometimes people, when we say humility, it's a big, it's very difficult to understand what is humility. Usually people may think humility means it's to be silent. No, means obediently accomplishing the mission. Obediently means without pride, taking no pride in what we are doing, but not stepping back, but actually taking and giving everything with enthusiasm in ourselves in service. That is what is um, humility. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one who preaches the glories of the Lord all over the world or all over the universe should be humbler than grass and more tolerant than a tree, because a preacher cannot live an easygoing life. Easygoing life for a preacher, not possible. Indeed, a preacher must face many impediments. Not only is he sometimes cursed, but sometimes he must also suffer personal injury. For example, when Nityananda Prabhu went to preach Krishna consciousness to the two roguish brothers Jagai and Madai, they injured him and made his head bleed. But nevertheless, he tolerantly delivered the two rogues who became perfect Vaishnavas. This is the duty of a preacher. Lord Jesus Christ even tolerated crucifixion. What do you call it? Crucifixion. Therefore, the curse against Narada was not very astonishing, and he tolerated it. Now, it may be asked why Narada Muni stayed in the presence of Prajapati Daksha and tolerated all his see, who is that? Satish Prabhu, acquisition. I am saying Accusation. Maybe how
Yes,
to pronounce, I
yes.
don't know, but
Okay, yes, yes.
and curses. Was,
Blames first. Yeah.
was that for Daksha's deliverance? The answer is yes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that after being insulted by Prajapati Daksha, Narada should have left immediately, but he purposefully stayed to hear all Daksha's strong words so that Daksha might be relieved of his anger. Prajap Prajapati Daksha was not an ordinary man. He had accumulated the results of many pious activities. How much, how much pious activities, as we see from Mahabharata, to get just 100 sons, Dhritarashtra had to wait for many lifetimes so that he can beget 100 sons. And here Prajapati Daksha, first batch 10,000, second batch 1,000, forget about hundreds are nothing for him. So which means he should have accumulated great done great pious act. Therefore, Narad Muni expected that after delivering his curse, Daksha, satisfied and freed from anger, would repent his misbehavior and thus get a chance to become a Vaishnava and be delivered. That is the level of tolerance. We shouldn't say, hey, stop. Yeah, don't curse me. Otherwise, my life is ruined. No. When Jagai and Madai offended Lord Nityananda, Nityananda stood tolerantly, and therefore both brothers fell at his lotus feet and repented. Consequently, they later became perfect Vaishnavas. Thank you so much for bearing me, but I didn't want to stop at any place. This is such a nice chapter to reflect the dealings of devotees at different levels, different ashramas, and yeah, the spirit of what one should carry forward. Yeah, any thoughts? First prayer for reciter, Parth Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
for explaining this the in-depth meaning uh, of this chapter. Yeah, it is very vital to understand mm, the curse what Daksha gave to Narad Muni. It's just like a blessing in disguise, what you said. And of course, for a PPO devotee who is preaching, who is always engaged in preaching, as you say, Paribrajika, it's never a curse for them. It's
I mean, we can see that Prabhupada had made the curse as a boon, yeah, where he could travel. Without that curse, maybe Prabhupada would be in one place, but yeah, because of that, he took it. And when he has accomplished and he became quite busy, then he is just saying, okay, if his disciples anyway also have to advance, right? Because he want his disciples to become spiritual masters, to become best preachers. How can they do? They have to travel. So it's not that Prabhupada is relieving himself from that curse or curses, but he wants that in that disguise, at least there is a push on his disciples to run all around the world wherever, this rescue fire engines, wherever there is fire, they have to go and stop it, right?
Yeah.
So he wanted that his disciples do that, and which means if we think we are preachers, we can't sit back. We should be, yeah, whatever may come, be ready as a mercy, and not only as mercy, as if it is inconvenience, we should be austerious to accept that.
Yes. And Prabhuji, one more thing. What happened to the the motive of Daksha? Like even the, Prajapati Brahma also, Brahmadev also wanted that Daksha will begot children and increase the human race. And
Next chapter will tell you what
and
did he do finally. He thought, sons, na, risky business. Because Narad Muni, is a brahmachari. He is coming and changing the brahmacharis. Uh, so what about girls? Hmm? There is no problem. So next he project.
okay, they got girl child.
Yeah, 60
Okay.
daughters.
Yeah,
And then he gives 60 daughters to the sages. Let the sages decide whatever they want. So Narad Muni will not interfere.
understood. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, yeah, as Vaishnavas, Chatur. Devotees know how they can't. Devotees will never sit alone. Yeah? They'll see how I can still do what with whatever my understanding I can serve the Lord. So Daksha's understanding was, yes, service is there. Mm, with and he actually succeeded.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, did Daksha know that it is his second birth and he was cursed in the previous life and he is again doing the same to?
I don't know. I didn't come across that. At least we get to hear this from the one who is elevated, who is speaking. Yeah, for example, here this is what Sukadeva Goswami is able to say. I don't know whether Daksha know his past life. I don't know. But sometimes what happens is just like Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but in case if one day when he dies, maybe he may go to some other place if he has still a lot of passion for cricket. Sometimes we say, na, hey, he's born cricketer, na. Sometimes have you heard? Yeah, he has such a nice skills. No one taught him. So those things will be there. And of course, this newborn Sachin may not know his real Sachin. I don't know, but at least I don't know. At least I didn't come across where Daksha knew that he got the second chance.
So it is like because Daksha and Narada were brothers before, so Narada was also affectionate to
Yeah,
his previous life
yeah.
brother.
We could see that way. We can also see that, yeah, being devotee who is above the relationships, right? Yeah, because the way Narad Muni comes is from his m- mind of Brahma, if I'm not wrong, or is it the Kumaras come from mind and from the lap comes Narad Muni? I have to check. So yeah, so we cannot just say that literally progenited through normal, regular process.
Mhm. And Prabhuji, one thing goes in my mind that he took the service of progeniting.
Mm-hmm.
Is it some great service? I mean,
It's a very important service, right? Just imagine you have created a super, what is that? That burja in Khalif Burja.
Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa, and there is no one to fill in.
Mhm.
Huh? Yeah, then you will have some people who will say, hey, you have nice advertisement boards, and then you start filling the, yeah, bring people in. Yeah, that's a big important service.
So
Huh?
he got this from his father, Prachetas, or that he has to do this
Yes,
association?
yes. So it came from the lineage, where he is born progenitor. That's why he was a Prajapati before, even head of the Prajapatis, yeah, head title, and now in the next life again he took over. So yeah, this also helps us to understand, yeah, this four varnas, yeah. These four varnas are guna karma vibhagasha. This guna definitely is coming also from past life. That's why usually we may see a carpenter can sons, yeah, we may see they may have great interest how to artistically make things. Whether they do carpentry or not different, but they have the art, they have the skills. Yeah, and if they really understand, hey, they can also make money, they may also get into this profession.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Guruji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. And Prandhan Prabhu, Pratik Prabhu.
Yes, Guruji.
Uh,
Guruji, I have one question.
yes.
Like, it is not up to like what the conversation here going on is on high level, but sometimes as we devotees, we
Mm.
perform some service and we engage some devotees, or we have been assigned some seva, but someone else come, they say you do this first, so we cannot recognize what is to be done first. So how do we like take actions on that?
So can you give me the case study that you brought, maybe with a more example? What you're saying is, or maybe you say again, I'll try to understand.
Maybe suppose Prabhuji, like one of our senior disciple or say some mentor gives some service, but then there's some other senior devotee who wants to engage us in some other service at the same time, and it is sometimes like doesn't go in match. So we
Mm-hmm.
are not able to decide what to be done at what time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I understood right, what happens when two people come to you and it's kind of a conflict of interest, and then you are stuck in the middle.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
If that is the question. So first thing is, I think Radhanath Maharaj said you have to hear to everyone, but then you have to follow your guru. Uh, I think, yeah, you may have everyone can tell anything, everything, yeah, and also ask you anything, everything. If you are free, then you can do it. But even that freedom is very delicate. Yeah, usually you may think you are free, but all the time we are not free. We are always assigned, just like uh, you're coming from which part of India?
I come from Mumbai, Prabhuji.
Mumbai. Mumbai taxi.
Maharashtra.
Mumbai taxi meter, once it starts, na, whether you are driving or not, na, or waiting at the traffic, or if you say, hey, let me go and have a tea, the meter is running. So, what does that mean? Is that there is not, in reality, there is never a moment where we are free, actually. As soon as
Yes,
we took shelter of our guru, then the meter is on, which means every moment if we are not serving, if we are not doing anything as an offering to the guru, then we are actually wasting. We may think we are independent, so we think, hey, let me take some free air around, huh? So, but actually, we are not following guru, because it's by 24/7. Of course, question may come, okay, what about when I'm eating? Am I doing service to the guru? Or when I'm sleeping, am I serving guru? No, these are compromises or adjustments through which we can recover so that we can give full speed services. Okay,
yes,
so
Prabhuji.
that in that way. And now when people are coming, okay, you can't brutally say that, hey, my guru already gave everything. I don't need to hear you all. Hmm. Or if you want me something, go to my guru and discuss. If my guru tells, then only I will do. No, we don't want to be like that. But the spirit is something very strict and serious. Yeah, the spirit
Yes,
from within should be very serious that we need to see, I have accepted someone as my mentor, counselor, guru, uh, and I do not compromise giving my best to him. And in this case, what happens is, yeah, there might be two people, three people who may come to you, and yeah, you can always consult your guru because it's very important to understand his mood. How can you understand his mood? By asking him. You should not
yes,
just take a decision that, oh, I have got a service in hand. Some A person has given me a service, let me just do it. Yeah. We approach our, yeah, so to say this mentor, counselor, guru, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru to understand. Uh, at least you don't have to go every time, but at least you have to go until you are convinced that what you are doing is in line with your guru's expectation.
yes, Guruji.
So for that, you can still be polite. You can still be polite and say no. How can you say no is when you engage yourself actively in your guru's mission. You can always, if someone is coming and saying, okay, Prabhuji, this is what is service I have now. For example, preaching programs or temple management or cooking or, all whatever the service that you have got. Yeah, that can keep
Yes,
you enough busy. And of course, when there are opportunities that you are at some other place where you can do, if it's not, I mean, we are not saying that you shouldn't do anything. I mean, I'm not telling that we should not do anything, something
yes.
other than that. It always, we have to make sure that our main service is not compromised when we are doing some other services. Huh?
But Guruji, if we take from this pastime, like Prajapati Daksh was being instructed by Lord Brahma and like to
Mhm.
progeny it. So like he was focusing on his own service at one
Yeah.
point.
But again, we have to be very careful. Progeniting is not just the only thing, right?
Yes,
Progeniting is one thing of the Grihastha. It is not that how many kids have we produced is measuring how successful we are at Grihasthas.
okay.
Huh?
Yes,
10,000,
yes.
1,000 doesn't matter. Even if one child has become a devotee, hmm, then you are a
So
successful Grihastha.
Prabhuji, in short, can we, in conclusion, what I understand that although Prajapati Daksh progenited 10,000s or something, but Narad Muni recognized that these devotees or this progeny, which sons of Prajapati Daksh, are capable enough to be a brahmachari. So in
Yes.
that fashion,
Yes.
he transformed them.
Yeah. It was only that being both devotees, the only thing is the vision of upon these people or was different. Daksha was seeing them that let me give them everything so that they can clear off based on the karma kanda or based on grihastha or grihamedi lifestyle. Let them choose. Maybe he was thinking, hey, to be humble, but that humility was a wrong humility.
Okay,
No, not maybe word humility is not right, but maybe to be not lenient, to be free. Come on, to be not accommodated, to be. mm, I'm looking for a word like flexible, to be to give room, to give freedom. Yes, to give freedom to his sons is what he was looking as a right way of doing. Yeah. But if that was there, the freedom should be that, okay, if the kids want to go to spiritual path, they should be fine. But he was also thinking that no, that freedom should be helping him in his mission.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. I mean, both are devotees and amazing, right? Isn't it?
Yes,
We're
yes.
not talking always about Hiranyakashipu and Narsingadev. Yeah. Here we are talking about dealings between two devotees coming from two different services. And this is very nice. At least, as I said, this chapter is one of my favorite chapters. Why? Because it gives, yeah, this is how we learn etiquettes. Yeah? This is how we know how to engage in with the devotees. Offense,
Mm.
offense, offense. offense free, maybe, or yeah, less offensive, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Someone was saying something, I don't know.
No, but I just meant offense less.
Yeah. Okay. Last 2 minutes, please. If someone wants to say anything. Adirasa Prabhu, fresh from India.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yeah. Suppose you mentioned that the real renunciation doesn't come until we get in touch with the Guru. Even if there are so many miseries in life, one cannot realize. Is it like this, or
What did I say? I didn't hear the first word.
like you mentioned that one should, when one really feels the miseries in life, one cannot come to the platform of renunciation.
Okay.
But this doesn't happen until one gets in touch with the Guru.
No,
Like
no, no.
miseries and Guru
It's-
both should come.
No, actually, this is a one way of a mentality to enjoy life. That is the only thing. And knowledge should be backed up, and knowledge, when it becomes more empowering, then you will start giving them up. It is not that by enjoying you will give up. Just like a smoker, na? A smoker may start with 1 cigarette, then he goes 2, then he goes 3, then he becomes a chain smoker. Even if his what is the organ that's damaged? Lungs, or many, yeah. Even if he is able to see that his lungs is getting affected, did this experience stop him? No.
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But it's the knowledge when the doctor is slowly telling, hey, come on, I think maybe you should slowly come down, you should slowly stop. Or if you stop, what will happen is that there is a chance for your long life. So there is always the importance of a guide. Yeah, here the doctor is guiding the person or a patient. That's why, what is it a doctor called? Vaidya Narayana. Anyway, the last word makes it the whole axiom having a different meaning. So why? Because yeah, the role of a doctor, a genuine doctor, is to elevate a person from his physical misery. Yeah. Better is a spiritual doctor who is elevating from all, not only material, also spiritual. No, I should be careful. Not only elevating from the material, but also mental, which is psychosomatic, so that he can be absorbed in uh, true spirits, in the interest of the spirit soul. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then thank you so much. And whoever is around SN, Duisburg, Düsseldorf, wherever. But if you are interested, please join. Today, at what time we are having this class?
From 3 p.m. Prabhuji.
3 p.m. 3 p.m. Don't miss. The topic is Bhagavad Gita relevant for today? I think, I don't know. I have to see. I think that is the topic. It will be in Harish Prabhu's Pragati Mataji's home. If someone is inspired, interested, yeah, come. We'll have nice program. And yeah, that's it. Otherwise, tomorrow, I don't know whether we'll have Sunday class. Mostly tomorrow, not possible, or we'll see. I'll let you know. Okay. And thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Recording